And we are honored to have a surprise guest, Congressman Chris Smith, who was actually crucial in securing the asylum and the arrival of Joseph and his family to the United States. He is the U.S. Representative for New Jersey's 4th Congressional District, and he has served as the co-chair of the Tom Lantos Human Rights Commission and the ranking member of the bipartisan Congressional Executive Commission on China.
It is an honor to be here to join Joseph as he tells us exactly what went on in Xinjiang and the terrible persecutions that he has suffered. You know, that we need to do more of that chronicling so that the charges that could be brought against Xi Jinping and the others can be more effectively prosecuted. Today we had a hearing of the Tom Lantos Commission. I'm the co-chairman of it. And, you know, there's still that sense of, well, maybe we ought to just focus on crimes against humanity rather than genocide. Are you kidding me? Genocide is the worst of the crimes. Xi Jinping is directly responsible for it. And you are a truth teller that helps us to know what is going on. I want to thank Bob Fu. I mean, Bob Fu is just, he's a force to be reckoned with on the entire planet, especially all things related to China. I'll never forget when Frank Wolf and I traveled, as we did frequently, to the PRC, Beijing, and elsewhere, Shanghai. We'd call Bob even when we were in country and we know it was being listened to. One time, we said, you know, we're going to head down to Tiananmen Square and hold up a banner, remember, Scott, that says, you know, human rights matter. And the embassy got a call within 20 minutes saying that if we did that, we're in a secure embassy van, by the way, U.S. Embassy, we will be deported immediately to the airport. And so Bob's, you know, it's just an incredible champion of human rights, and I want to thank him. And of course, for those who are stuck in South Korea, Bob brought that case to us. We're working on it all the time, especially with the new government in South Korea, which I have higher hopes than the Moon government that they will be responsive. We just had another hearing on Korea, and I chaired it, and we focused again on these Christians who escaped the tyranny of the Chinese Communist Party, expecting to get asylum or at least some refugee status, and are still in limbo. But I'm very confident that they will not be deported. But I want to thank you for, I mean, if they go back, we all know what happens to them. They will be either killed or tortured first and then some killed. And to see those wonderful children and their parents, of course, and family members, I mean, they are believers who we need to put sandbags around them, and we are trying. So, Bob, thank you again for bringing that to us as well. Bob's own story is legendary. You know, he's been maligned by the Chinese Communist Party personally, which I found to be outrageous. And so you know, that's what they do. You know, in country, it's a lot easier in China for them to do it, but now it's one of those things where they do it even here against him. So, and I'll just conclude with this. Next year, if we do take control of the House, I hope to be chairman of the China Commission, and we will do hearing after hearing, action plan after action plan, to try to make sure that we hold Xi Jinping, the war crimes criminal, the genocide criminal, to account. I wish that Biden would do more. We don't know what they talk about when they get on the phone, but, you know, if anything, we've proven that all of this nice talk leads to more, not less, tyranny. I have introduced a bill that is patterned after the executive order that Bill Clinton did when we had the votes, we believe, to condition most favored nation status for China. This was back in 1993, 94. It was a bipartisan effort. I was one of the leaders. Frank Wolf was one of the other ones. And we said, have conditionality, and we'll see a different China over time, especially because they won't get the goodies of economic trade to that government, because it all goes to the government first and to their military, unless they show serious and sustained progress in the realms of human rights. Bill Clinton shamelessly ripped up his own executive order on May 26, 1994. I actually did a press conference. He did it on a Friday afternoon when everybody had left the House and Senate. I was kind of shocked that he waited to a time where the news cycle was just about over. I rushed over and did a press conference. It's still on C-SPAN, May 26, 1994, and said, we just gave away the store. China has looked us in the eyes, and they looked at Bill Clinton in the eyes and said, human rights really don't matter. It's all about money. And that's when we lost China, in my humble opinion, because everything was, we'll just trade more. You don't trade a dictatorship into a democracy. It does not matriculate from what the Chinese Communist Party does each and every day into freedom-loving people just because they're making money. If anything, they get worse. So I've introduced a bill to take that idea of linking human rights with trade. It's a very, very uphill battle to get that bill passed, but I'm going to push till we get it. I did the same thing with Romania and MFN, smaller country, of course, under Nicholas Ceausescu in the 1990s, and 80s, I should say that was. And I was shocked how many people said, oh, they came to the Olympics in L.A. Ceausescu was different. He was a monster. His Securitate tortured people. The book that got me into fighting for religious freedom was Torture for Christ by Richard Wurmbrand. And when I read that book, I said, my God, we can't be complicit and we can't be indifferent. We have to be wise as serpents and gentle as doves in fighting these dictatorships. Maybe not so much in the gentle. So I want to thank Bob for his leadership. It is amazing. It's extraordinary and makes a difference. And Scott, thank you for what you do on the commission. It's just amazing. And Piero Tazzi, who's on the Lantos Commission as our general counsel, thank you for all that he does. God bless you.